So that's the striking thing about Trump, right? Is what we all perceive to be norm shattering, and perhaps beyond that, but we don't know the answer to that question yet of whether it's more than just shattering political norms by doing things like firing the FBI director, or talking about it in the terms in which he apparently did with the Russian visitors to the White House. So do you believe there is already evidence from what we've learned in the last 2 weeks that would constitute an impeachable offense that does anything more than violate our sense of norms?
Well, look, that's what I think in first instance, that's what Bob Mueller needs to take a look at. I think you can make an argument that the firing of the FBI director in that context, clearly based on his own comments to the Russians, if nobody else, indicated that he was doing that because Comey was putting pressure on him. I think that is close to an obstruction case, whether in the political context of impeachment or in the context of a criminal grand jury investigation to indict somebody for obstruction. I think it's a little too early to say. My problem with President Trump is that he seems incapable of doing the job. I mean, every day is another, dive into kind of craziness when he gets up and opens his phone. So it is also clear to me that the Republicans on Capitol Hill are not going to begin to turn on him at this point. So I think more needs to happen. We'll learn more. I do think that one of their great vulnerabilities going forward is less about what they did last fall and how much they colluded with the Russians, and more about their inability to ever tell the truth. And, you can lie to the American people and sometimes you get rewarded for that. And I think if you look at the way what Trump said he was going to do and what he's done, his emphasis on just taking care of the wealthy and powerful in office, that seems to me a fundamental lie that he made to the American voters. But you can lie to the American people. Sometimes you're rewarded for that. If you lie to the FBI, if you lie to congressional investigators, that's a crime. And they seem incapable of telling the truth. So I think their vulnerability is what they did over the last few months,
right,
and what they're going to say right now about what really happened, and both in the conduct of the way the White House has managed intelligence information, as well as what they did in the campaign. And I think they'll be very vulnerable because they seem like if they think for a short-term gain they can get away with a lie, they do it. And the Comey firing is an excellent example of that.
Well, there have been a lot of different explanations in a very short amount of time for
yeah.
What
Imagine
that is.
Putting your vice president out to say one thing, and then the next day, he does the interview with Lester Holt, and he just throws him right under the bus. I mean, it's really
you think that Al Gore and Bill Clinton were on